to, I will. So everyone's familiar with this, we've talked about this a few times. This was a plan that came in that was originally proposed to have 40 single-family homes on the north, and the south was gonna have 18 single homes and 220 essentially apartments. The board initially denied it, and it was appealed to the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas. We have been working with the developer in an attempt to try to get something that was a little bit more palatable there as opposed to all those units. It would have also been community wells, community sewer, that sort of thing, so we were definitely looking for something that fit more within the budget. So what we ended up with is 125 single-family homes on both sides of the road altogether. There will be on-lot wells for each of the individual homes. There will be a common septic system that will also have Ivy Ridge, thank you, Ivy Ridge tied into it so that they will see some relief from their bills because they'll be part of a bigger pool in order to pay for their sewer system maintenance. Let's see, what else are the highlights? I said the individual wells.
6 units,
I'm sorry?
29 for Mr. Lapio as well. The flex
Yes,
units.
that includes, yes, the 29 for that. There will be a homeowners association. The proposed homes have all been sucked into the middle of the site as best we could to try to preserve buffers for any surrounding neighbors who might be affected. And there will be, it's not technically open space, but there will be undeveloped land that will be around the homes adjacent to some of these neighbors that the township will have the first option of owning instead of the HOA, so that way we can, the HOA couldn't do anything with it anyway, it has to stay unbuilt, but it would become the township's if the township so wants to own it. There will be buffering and screening that's required. And there's a plan, it outlines a plan for how the review process will go moving forward between their submissions, the timelines that we have to review them, and that sort of thing. And it's in the form of a settlement agreement that, if approved, will become a public document that anybody will be able to review. It will have copies of the latest plans attached to it as concepts, and then we will get fully engineered plans as this process goes forward. So this is not the final time that anyone will have to comment, but some of the major issues have been worked out pursuant to the way this agreement is done. There are a few sections and cross-references that need to be added to the agreement, so I'm asking you this evening, if you're inclined to approve this, to do so subject to my final review and approval, just to make sure that all the cross-references are correct and stuff like that. But there are no major terms that will be changing, it's all just legalese that might change.
There's two properties, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One on Heimbach, one behind me. How are these houses split up? Do you have like a plan? Did they submit anything like that? When you have
Yes.
125 houses?
We
I'm just
do,
curious.
yes.
But they're not allowed to be seen yet, I assume.
No, there's plans, yeah, they
Oh,
were.
good.
You can absolutely see them.
Good, I would like to see them sometime, not tonight.
Absolutely.
This, no big deal. The sewage treatment plant, will the one that's there now be replaced?
No,
Not at this time.
And so we're going to take on, because that's behind my house too, we're gonna take on Ivy Ridge, not me, it has nothing to do with me. 125 houses, and all of what Frederick is adding.
no, Frederick's plant as of right now is allowed to stay the way it is. So they're independent
They're
of
gonna be
themselves.
separate.
The 125 plus Ivy Ridge in the,
Where is that, where is
it's
that?
right next to the other plant right
Right
there.
next to it.
Mm-hmm. And
Because
then I,
plans used to be that they would all just go all together.
yeah,
Okay, so that's interesting. And you
Yeah.
said single wells on each lot.
single wells each lot. That way we're not drawing and storing in massive containers. We're just,
That's
everybody
nice.
draws
Thank
out
you, that's
individually.
nice.
It's less
Yeah, yeah.
less consumption there on the wells, helping you guys out. I was just worried if we're letting them run off those big wells there, and it's gonna be sucking out of your aquifer, maybe
It
you're gonna.
did. We didn't know that that's what did it, but it did.
Right.
We have like a water filter and our filter like just got filthy black.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't put it together till later, we just thought it was a drought, and then we're like, oh no, that's when they were running the tests.
Sure.
I will mention as well that there are vegetative buffers required in the agreement between any existing property owners that are adjacent to the development. So in addition to what's naturally there with some of the perennial tributaries, there will also be added vegetative buffers as well to help keep your sightlines clean.
And buffers specifically around the sewage treatment plant as well too, so.
And yes, it's on your property as well.
Well,
That's
so
your-
lot 121 is basically on my property line, so is that house moving? Because according to the plans, I mean, it's right, pretty much right on my property line, and I'll literally be able to have a straight line of sight to it. So is that house getting moved back? Because I mean, it's pretty close to the property line.
I don't have it in front of me, isn't there there's an not an easement, but a setback there, right?
Yeah, there's a setback and a buffer. It's been pulled back as much as it can be to try to accommodate you and giving you some space.
And the buffer, what does that exactly mean? Like he's gonna plant trees, or he's not gonna knock down the ones that are there?
He's doing both. He's gonna leave the trees that are existing there to as much as possible, to the extent as much as possible, and he's also gonna be planting vegetative buffers as well, to kind of reinforce that natural, delineation.
Okay. My other question is, with all of the 125 wells coming in, I mean, it's no secret there have been droughts the last 2 summers. Will that affect us? Could we all be on that? I mean, I don't do geography, but if we're all on the same plane of water, do we run a risk of our wells going dry now that 125 homes are gonna be all sucking from the same water plate or whatever you call it?
Aquifer. And I'm sure that's in there. Is that covered by our water study, our water impact studies, or anything like that?
That's a better question either for Norm or your water engineer, that's not, that's just not anything I know.
Does the settlement agreement still allow for that? Does it still require that report? I know there were some concessions, I don't specifically remember whether that was one of them.
I don't know.
But I guess, and I apologize for having my back to you, but the long and short of it is, once you start drilling a well, you really don't necessarily know which aquifer you're drawing from. Once you get below ground, you may not be, none of the wells might be drawing from your particular aquifer, or they could potentially all be drawing from you really don't know that. I think the thing that probably needs to be brought up is the fact that there could have been so many more wells that were on here. I mean, it was previously ready to be approved for 274, 276, and you're at 125. So from that standpoint, it's better for everybody that's there. The other thing is that Vicki did bring up is that the lot sizes were reduced and it was drawn more to the center of the larger tracts of land and away from the neighbors. Again, it's not to say that it couldn't be drawn from your particular aquifer or not, but at least there is more distance between your particular well, and where it could have been.
Well, and you may be able to answer this, Norm, but it does of course require that they comply with any rules and regulations of DEP, the Delaware River Basin, and the county health department. So I don't know what kind of documentation they have to give to any of those entities as part of their permitting process, but.
From a DRBC standpoint, Delaware River Basin Commission, they would have to comply with that. That's not something that the township could even possibly waive.
So they'll have to show them some kind of studies with regard to
To the extent that
availability.
DRBC requires it, yes, they would still have to do that type of a particular study.
Okay, thank you.
And when they were doing the other homes, which was far greater, they had already had obtained DRBC approval. So I would imagine
And the other thing
they'd
I
be more
think,
inclined to give it to them.
the other thing I think it's important to point out, there were two different voices, but there was, a lady was talking about that she thought her well was affected by the wells that they were drilling.
Yes,
Okay,
it's Ms. Grove.
The one thing that's important to point out is when those tests were being done, they were trying to determine capacity. So they were literally drawing as much water as, so they could determine what the capacity is. The other thing that's important to understand is if you've got a single family home there, they're not gonna draw nearly the amount of water as what that particular, what the intent of that study was there for. They
Right.
wanted to see if they could do a community well, to see if they could get 300 gallons a minute or something like that. Whereas a normal home, my home, functions, and I've been in the home for 25 years, on a gallon and a half a minute. You know, so it does draw a lot less. And that's not to say that I'm offering you any type of a concrete
No,
answer,
it's
because
just-
it really isn't.
Yeah.
But from an order of magnitude standpoint, the purpose and the test for that community well is really just, the only thing in common is the fact that they both deal with water. They're really going after two different things. They wanted
Okay.
to see if they could do a particular well and pump it around, or whether they couldn't find water.
Well, and just, when they were going to build this massive community well and everybody, we had that escrow account for people's wells drying up. Is that gone since we're not using a community well now? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't believe that is part of it now, because we're not having a
It's
community
not part
well,
of it now.
and we're not drawing that volume.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Right.
Is there a backup plan? Like, we have a backup plan for the septic systems in the township now, but like, those wells do go dry. The possibility of aqua, which they talked about for years, bringing a line right up 73 to feed everything?
No. No.
So we're gonna have to drill another well? I don't think.
I had another question. Is there any, with the school, my daughter's in first grade and it's packed. And I know when we moved here late July of last year, she barely got in. So are there any talks, I mean, with all of these, with this community coming in, 125 new homes, are they talking anything about the school, like expanding or anything? I mean, I barely got in the parking lot to pick her up today. That's how long the pickup line was.
I don't know about what the school's plans are, that would be a school board question for them. But that was the reason why I had sent Bill to go negotiate with the fellow. I just told him, I says, we can't have this on our schools. Bill's daughter's here today, and she had made a mention about it to him, telling him she had a kid sitting on the floor in her class.
Yeah.
So it's on everybody's mind, but the development that is all around us is far greater than what we're doing. And we're just trying to do our part to limit that impact on these surrounding schools. Again, that was 18 apartment buildings, 72 homes, or something like that, the last plan. And only, I think, 46 of them or 60 of them were age restricted. So we're still far below the number that was coming here. But I can't speak to what the school board's plan is. I know where my wife teaches, they went from regular little elementary schools, closed them all down and built what they call a mega school. So it's massive schools that they're doing down in Bucks County. So I would imagine it's just gonna creep its way out here. This here's
Higher taxes.
people not thinking.
So with it being approved, is there a start date or any timeline of when ground is gonna break or anything like
No,
that?
he's gonna have to go to the DEP yet and get approval for these plans. This here is just to replace the plan he originally came in. This agreement is basically saying that those 300 and something homes are off of the table and that the township would rather see 125. He has to go and find out if he can even do the sewer. But he feels fairly confident that he's gonna be able to do that.
Well, plus he needs to do fully engineered plans here.
Sure.
So he will submit fully engineered plans to the township, they will be reviewed by this board again. There will be additional presentations on what he's doing, and there's he still has to go through the whole approval process with the township as well. So aside from DEP, aside from PennDOT,
It takes a while.
yeah, it's gonna be a little while.
Yeah, this isn't happening in the next year, I can't see.
No. It's only projected that he will get through the township's part of this process, maybe by the end of next year, and that's not even breaking ground or anything else, so it's still a few years off at least.
Did we get an agreement to tear down 3 houses?
With 3 houses.
Down here, 3 abandoned houses that are an eyesore to this community?
Are they all Tim's? Are they Tim's houses?
Yes.
Those ones out front?
Yeah, in front of Frederick and next to me.
I don't know, I'll reach out to him and find out.
Yeah, because I had asked,
I can't believe you'd wanna leave them up if
I
he's
couldn't
trying to.
no, I
imagine.
meant get rid of them now.
Are they on the
Sooner
same
than
side?
now.
Are they on the same
Yeah, they're
property?
all on that side, they're on the south side. I imagine he's gonna wanna do stuff like that when he has crews here, just to, you know, mitigate costs and stuff like that, is what I would imagine that's about.
It doesn't look like they're on the plans. I
Yeah,
don't think they're on the plans, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
imagine they are
yeah,
definitely.
they're not there,
Yeah.
is what I'll tell you, I would imagine he's gonna take
We've
this
been
off.
asking them for 15, 20 years.
I just got here.
I know, it's not your fault.
Give me time, I'm a busy man.
I had
No.
brought it up in an email to whoever, and you
Yeah.
were like, we're working on it, so I was just curious if it was
No, I'll reach
part
out
of
to him
this, or if
tomorrow.
we're going anywhere with it, or if I still have to look at that thing all, you know.
I'll reach out to him tomorrow, and
Next
he's
couple
told me he's had
years.
conversations with you. I believe, was it you
No,
or
I've
Mr.
had
Markey
I've
next to him?
had conversations with the surveyors, I've thrown more people off my property, because my property butts his property,
Mhm.
you can't get through his, so they come in through mine
Without our permission.
without our permission.
And messing up our sand mound.
Okay,
So I've thrown a couple of them off.
I thought you were here, increase your opposition again.
Yeah, they're,
No.
you know.
I'll reach out to him tomorrow, I'll find out about those houses, but I'm quite certain they'll leave
They'll
whenever
leave it.
everything else is happening, so.
That's what I guess. I'm done.
All right, Mr. Paul?
I have a comment based on your question about the schools. You gotta remember, a lot of times I hear in planning and stuff like that, the community, just enough for Frederick, Boardtown School District is massive, big. And you're getting probably
That way.
740 some homes, or 760, just in New Hanover. It's gonna come up, it's gonna be an
I
issue.
know, I know.
So I think everybody needs to realize it's just not, we're doing the best we can here, but there's
Yeah.
developments all around this township, and it's gonna
Sure.
affect that school district for sure. They've been getting away with not doing anything, it's coming.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
They have
taxes
to.
and all that stuff, your
But yet they can afford
school
to
board
put
stuff and all that, or
What's
your
that?
school taxes.
in the football
You're gonna see it.
field or something in
Yeah.
Boyertown.
We are the last little community like this, I keep saying, I've said it
Absolutely.
for years, this is a little gem stuck inside, surrounded by all these other folks, man, and we're working overtime to come up with ideas to keep it like this. But, it's not easy, that's for sure. But I did mention, you were specific about the buffers because of how it came up to your doorstep like that. I worked with them on the other folks too, pulling those properties away. But again, it's just only so much you can do with trying to work with this fella, you know what I mean? Without, you know, just imploding everything and going back to court and
How
next
many
thing you know, we
acres
got
are
the
in,
apartment
are between
buildings, you
the
know?
How many
There
acres?
are,
I forget.
180?
Norm might remember better than I do,
Is it
but.
180 Norm?
601.
184
I think
or
it's
187?
in that
76 on
neighborhood.
one and.
I wanna say 60 and 120.
Yeah, I
Rings a
think
bell.
it's like 182, 187, something like that. But don't hold me to it, because it might be 184,
I think might
but I'm right around there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as the land that Miss Vicky was talking to, I told him that I would like to take that, whatever's open there, so they don't build something next to, like, your house, you know, or the Hassens, you know, put a playground next to them. Unfortunately, I wouldn't wanna see something like that to happen either, you know? So, but I figured as much as we could keep open, we can encourage some farming in this community, hopefully keep it rural like this.
Is the Hassan's house being preserved? On Clement Road?
The old Hans News House?
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
and I thought it was kind of isolated off there.
It was. I spoke to him about that too, actually, in a meeting, Aaron had brought it up, I forgot all about it there, it slipped my mind. And he said, yeah, he would dedicate that to the township and an acre next to it or something, wasn't it?
3 acres.
3 acres next to it, so that'll be able to be preserved here. We did a walkthrough on that property, and surprisingly enough, it's in really good shape for the situation it's in, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that worked out for us. That's something we believe we can get grants on from the state, that's something they would welcome. When I called the state to have this young lady, her name was Elizabeth, about the schoolhouse out here, I called her a couple days later, I'm like, hey, I never saw you. She goes, yeah, I just kept going, that's not something we're interested in. Round Top Lake Road. And then she had mentioned that home, she goes, I've heard of a house that you have over here. So that's, you know, it's always been on the plate, so, yeah. And even Aaron remembered it, so
Yeah.
worked out for us. One little bright spot in all of it, I guess you would say.
Any more
Okay.
comments?
Any more comments,
We're
questions?
ready?
No, I'm done.
Ms. Jana? Okay.
No, we're good? I make a motion to approve the compromise agreement between Upper Frederick Township and the Hendricks Properties, subject to our solicitor's final review and approval.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any other public comment? Make sure you get my good side, Mark, I see you looking through that lens.
I'm not looking through the lens. I
Yeah,
forgot my
this side.
glasses. I'm trying to read the time here.
What? Go ahead, you can read it, Bill, I know what you want to do, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Upcoming meetings, Parks and Recs Board will be meeting November 18th, 2025 at 7 PM. Planning Commission Board will meet November 20th, 25 at 7 PM. Board of Supervisors, next meeting will be 12/10 at 7 PM. And announcements, anybody have anything?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Bill.
yeah, that's right. The Boyertown Marching Unit went to US Bands Nationals up in Allentown. And mind you, this is a band that is 40% freshmen with a new band director, new staff, and 45% new musicians. And they took second place. Class 3A band.
Congratulations,
Still better than a football team.
Don't say that, director doesn't like us.
What a
Is that
proud
the
mama.
one that,
Oh, I
Bill, is that the one that PB took first?
I was
PB take that one?
I don't think PD's in our class,
No, they're not in it,
I
okay.
don't think, but no, PD wasn't up
PB
in
wasn't
Allentown
there. I
on
saw
Sunday. There was another competition, the other classes, some of them were Saturday in Allentown, and over in Jersey had 2 days of competitions. So this is
That's,
the national,
yeah, that's great.
and in their class, they surprised, we were praying for 6th, but they got second. It was good.
Awesome job. All right, any other public comment, we're good to go?
Good.
I make a motion to adjourn this fine meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.